Welcome back to another episode of the Screen Crusader podcast. This is Tex Morty, and with me, as usual, we got the Reaper and JT. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? This is our 10th episode. Can you believe it? Of a podcast.
Is it number 10?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Big old number 10. I mean, we took a whole week off last week, just because there was some catching up to do. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of news and such like that, so we decided to just use that time to catch up on some of the stuff we really liked.
We play some cool games.
Excuse me?
Right?
Yeah, we play some cool games.
So we decided to use that time to start setting up the live stream.
Wasn't so uneventful.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to mention. That I'm gonna go jump straight into it with the what have you been up to? I'll go ahead and start because, like I said, last week we took a week off because two big games that I've been really interested came out. And we set up the live stream on YouTube Live. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do so. It was a good time. We're still getting the ropes of it, but it's overall a solid few episodes. I think we did 6 live streams, I believe, 4 Returnal and 2 Resident Evil Villages. Mm-hmm. But so that's what I've been up to. I've been playing a lot of Returnal, like a week and a half straight.
How?
Well, it's addictive. It's hard.
Yeah, you know what's addictive? Meth.
Cocaine.
Yeah, and cocaine. Yeah,
But,
and you know what? I bet the people who do them, they like it. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but it's not. That's just not good for you. It's gonna kill it.
This one it makes you better, unlike meth and such, because that's
crack and meth does make you because you feel like you're better.
Because that's what's good about this game. What's it called? It's just, for some reason, it's a little bit different than your like Demon Souls and Dark Souls series, where those are truly brutal for the sake of being brutal, and that's its own form of masochism.
Yeah,
but
and it's worse.
But this one,
it's worse.
No, this one is technically not worse because you could actually play it without getting one-shotted. You have more of a chance of survival.
You still can get one-shotted. But and that doesn't matter because you still go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, but it encourages you to kind of like want to, like, I'll be at work sometimes and I'll be thinking like, oh, yesterday I did this move and I could have done this move. So it gets in your mind and you just can't stop thinking of ways to kind of see if your new tactic will work against that specific biome. And for the most part, that is how it works. I'll be thinking about it on the drive home or something, and then I'll be like, okay, and I put my theory into practice, and boom, I beat the next boss and such like that.
No, because you could say the same thing about an addict, and they're thinking, how can I get meth this time? Like what's all the different ways that I can that I can get meth, crack, just.
Yeah,
so many different ways.
But this one doesn't kill you physically, only mentally.
Yeah,
only mentally. But
and it does the same too.
Yeah, but it's,
you keep dodging the question here. You keep beating around the bush. I don't know what to
overall
do.
Though I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna give a quick impression because this and Resident Evil 8. I'm still working through Resident Evil 8. We'll probably be doing live streams twice a week.
Okay.
I do want to make my live streams a bit more of an actual schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That way people who listen on to this type of stuff know when to expect a new one. Because
it was fun the last time.
Because as of now, we
got some good shit to talk about with that.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I want to get into a schedule. I'll go ahead and kind of say one right now. I want to do at least Thursdays for sure. Thursday evenings. But we'll see. The other days because I do want to do 2 to 3 times a week. That way we don't spend too much time in between release and all that on like Resident Evil type games.
Okay. Returnal. We should get through it pretty quickly though, because like a lot of people are talking about it. We should.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to rush it too much. I want to actually enjoy it and get a good feel. Because I do want to do like brief actual reviews for these games. Maybe if it's not like getting all you guys in here. After I play it, I might jot down my notes, do a solo like review. But I do want to have skits.
Yeah,
I do want to have skits in those. So I'll call you guys over to.
No, that's worth doing a big review on. But little blue moose fell.
Oh well.
A fallen soldier.
Man overboard. But what's it called? I'm enjoying both of them. Both of them feel really immersive, especially with their sound design is fantastic. Other than that, I've just been watching. I've been trying to watch Castlevania. I've only gotten a few episodes in. So far, it's pretty cool. It's just like the other three seasons. Animation's top notch.
It's good.
Action's pretty good. So far, I don't know too much of the story because it's only the first two, so I don't know exactly where they're heading. I think you start finding that out a bit more in the third episode. But that and Love, Death, Robots season 2.
Yeah. We just saw that like 2 days ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you watched it at our other friend's house, and then we watched a couple last night together. I know I binge watched that because I thought it was going to be a few hours long, but it's only like, 2 hours?
Fucking Netflix
at most.
shortening all their series.
Yeah, like 8 episodes. But, with Love, Death, and Robots, I only seen like the first 3 episodes. And I think one of my favorite episodes so far is episode 2 and 3. Like, episode 2 involves like the ice and the two brothers and a couple gangs.
With that 2D animation style, with the whales.
That had an interesting animation style. I like that one. It was a breath of fresh air compared to the other ones. That and the tall grass one. Those are the only two that aren't really full-blown CG. Well, I guess technically you could say because they might have been drawn in an actual computer. But it was different. The story was all right. I thought it wasn't like anything to write home about so far.
No, I would say like with this whole season, it's like, like they're pushing the envelope in the animation and just with these new techniques, and it's just there's certain episodes where you don't know if like something's live action or if it's animated, and it just blends so smoothly, so seamlessly.
Yep.
But the only thing is though, it's like and while they showcase all that, I feel like the stories were stronger in the first season.
They're a bit more memorable.
More meat, more depth to them.
I feel like season 2...
A little more time to breathe.
Yeah, I feel like season 2 is...
rushed?
No, not... Well...
No, that's the thing. It's not rushed.
But I feel like it's a little bit more style over substance.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's style over substance.
Because it does look great. It actually looks way better than even the first season.
Right.
None of the ones in the first season could like hold a candle to what's it called? The one with the cyberpunk, like the Blade Runner mixed with like Fifth Element. The one with Nolan North in it. That one looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the giant one and the snow in the desert. Those two, you have to double take at moments to be like, is that CG or is that real life? It looks that good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But their stories, other than the one with the little kids and the cop guy.
Yeah.
What's it called? What other one had a decent story?
Where there was snow in the sand. Like that one.
Yeah,
the Christmas one.
The Christmas one. Those were good stories.
Yeah.
Those are good stories. Some of those I kind of would love to venture into those universes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I want more. Like this could be a movie, could just or an animated series. Just keep doing it.
But yeah,
it's not bad though. Like it's not bad at all. But just like compared to the first season, it just had
a lot more depth.
Well, the first season had more memorable episodes.
Oh, yeah,
I probably like 6 or 7 out of those. And this one, I pretty much, while I liked all of them and enjoyed all of them, I only truly, really, really liked about 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's more or less what I've been up to.
And it's the same for me, yeah.
Same for you, yeah. And because I know you've come over every time we've done Resident Evil, and you both have joined in the live stream when you couldn't make it in person to see Returnal. But yeah, those, like I said, reviews are on their way for those. A little bit late in my opinion, but whatever. I like taking my time. And most people don't. Well, a good chunk of people probably don't buy games at launch. So hopefully we get our review in a decent amount of time. And what's it called? I know Returnal I won't finish for sure.
Yeah.
But I played hours and hours
and
hours of it. So I'm pretty well could give a good opinion on in depth on what goes on in that game without feeling like I didn't play enough to review it, because I'm probably halfway done. And put numerous of deaths and numerous of hours into it.
You just got to keep a tally marker just every time you die, and I want to see that.
It's in your ship. It's on your ship. When you go into, there's a daily challenges thing, and then there's the overall objective stuff.
Yeah.
Where you could have your log. It keeps track of it. It tells you how many times you've died, how many enemies you've killed, and stuff like that.
Cool.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah, I can't remember my Demon Souls one. What was it like? Was it in the 50s?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe it was between like 30 to 50. I can't remember. But this one's probably gonna beat it.
Yeah.
This game is so much worse.
But anyways, what about you, JT? You've seen anything new, or played anything new other than what we talked about so far?
Yeah, I'm currently playing Stranded Deep. It's a game. It's like free for the PlayStation Plus members.
Yeah, for this month, right?
Yes, but I quit because it was nerve-wracking. But other than that, I've just been chilling. I finished Young Justice Outsiders, and so that was a really good season. Season 3 has more mature content than the first 2 seasons, but I really liked, and all the young superheroes are growing up, and it's a real good story, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Like I said before, I'm currently watching His Dark Materials. Almost finished with that show.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
My brother really likes that one.
So I'm try to watch a lot more TV shows and movies this year, because I watched a lot of movies last year and kind of missed out on all the the TV shows that like have like a lot of reviews on like Rotten Tomatoes and everything. So I'm kind of branching out into like more like TV shows on HBO Max, especially because there's a lot of cool substance out there. So
yeah, no, my list on TV shows and such like that I need to catch up on is like this long.
Yeah,
it's too watch Invincible puta.
Oh man, I need to. I need to get back onto my Amazon Prime or borrow one of y'all's.
I'll just give you mine.
Yeah, because I do want to get Amazon Prime back. Because segue into the next topic, they do have some pretty good shows on there. I know that's where I watched. What was that one? It was a foreign show. I'll have to get back to you on that one. It was really good. It was really good. It took place in, I think, if I remember, Antarctica, and there was some creepy shit going on. Second season had like Dennis Quaid in it.
Okay.
And but it was good. So that, Invincible, The Boys, all those shows.
Yeah, The Boys.
I do watch a decent amount on Amazon Prime, and so I want to get back onto it. It keeps, every time I think about doing that or canceling Netflix, I keep putting it off for some reason. But straight into the next topic.
We have to talk about it.
Amazon Prime, man, or video. They announced this week, as reported by, I saw this by Kat Bailey over at IGN. They had an article that Amazon has set the record for the most expensive live action TV show, or just TV show in general, with the new Lord of the Rings show. What's it called? It's basically a movie, and that's why I'm glad they're treating it as a very long movie, because
Lord of the Rings, you can't mess it up.
The first season,
drop the ball.
The first season has a budget of $465 million.
That's more than Disney would put in their projects.
Yeah, everybody was like, HBO is putting like $80 million into
now they're
Game of Thrones,
and
then Disney was like, oh yeah, well, look at me. I have, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision were 120 million, and then Amazon is over here just straight up like, boom, 460, and the other two were like, there you go, you what? But like I said, Kat Bailey at IGN, she reported the Amazon studio chief Jennifer Salke. I mispronounced that name, but she said that the budget was mostly due to the madness of the market, as she quotes. She's noted that Netflix paid $469 million for 2 sequels of Knives Out to be exclusive for. The Knives Out movie. Yeah. The sequels are going straight to Netflix.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they paid to get exclusive almost $500 million, but I feel like that's not comparable. Well, she's comparing apples to oranges. Your 2 blockbuster movies versus one show that has almost the same amount of money budget for that. But she also quotes that Jennifer says that most of the budget it's about building up the infrastructure for the rest of the show. So this first season, she says that it's going to be the full season of a huge world building show, because
you better deliver on that. I want to be all on location, no green screen like how you do with The Hobbit. I want all my orcs practical effect makeup.
Well, they say that it's to build the infrastructure of the whole series, and they did mention that they're like, it doesn't come cheap to build all these sets, build all these things for this expansive world, because it sounds like by the term world building, they really want to get deep into the world, into the lore and the different areas within Middle Earth.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Like, I feel like all that's just, you can't touch it. It's just the world building of Lord of the Rings. I think it's the most complex.
That's what gets me excited, that we might even see more areas of Middle Earth and all that, because they're not just sticking to, okay, we're gonna have this location in Middle Earth and that's it. That's why it sounds like she is saying this budget is so big, because they're gonna have to build different sets for different styles of areas in this realm.
All New Zealand. That's why it's so expensive to
that too.
There,
But how do you guys do you guys think that's going overboard and just like the ultimate flex? For me personally, I'm excited.
Why don't you just do the same thing as The Hobbit? It's just no, we're just all gonna do it in this little studio with a green screen. That's it.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully they learned their lesson from that. But what do you think?
Because that's why people were so upset, and I think that's why they're like, no, we can't have that again.
Yeah. Do you think that's just a flex and they're just trying to be like, look at all this? Or do you think it's because they're really going to put all that money like straight into the show and be practical? Yeah. Or are they just spending a lot of money on CG, you think, JT?
Actually, I think the first option, like, they're going to put all that money into practical effects, because Lord of the Rings has a huge fan base because of all the books and all the Peter Jackson movies back in the early 2000s, and also with The Hobbit. So I think Amazon is really doing a good job at, again, expanding this world of Middle Earth and hopefully using a lot of practical effects and a lot of different locations. And I think at the end of it, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful show, and I can't wait to watch it on Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I hope they just, like I said, I hope they keep all that practical stuff. Yes. If they got orcs and all that,
just do kind of like what HBO did with Game of Thrones. And that's just probably gonna end up being
that on steroids, man.
Yeah, that on steroids.
Yeah, no,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's a flex, like, it better be like a big ass flex and deliver on everything that it says.
And I'm hoping that they do have some CG, because again, we talked about Love, Death, and Robots. It could be used pretty good. I mean, the old early 2000 ones, the CG, it's starting to age a little, but it still holds up really good.
You shut up.
You can't tell me that.
Nope, it still looks good.
It looks good. I'm not saying it looks bad, but it's starting to age compared to.
Nope, it doesn't.
You're being stubborn, but
no, I'm not.
But you can't tell me
better than newer.
You can't tell me that. What's it called? Some of that CG looks better than Snow in the Desert or something like that. We've come a long way in CG,
but it's not that like. They didn't have that at the time, so it's not fair to like compare.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Well, it is fair though, because time marches on. Eventually, it's going to look outdated. Eventually, it will look outdated.
And the thing is, like, and that's the thing. Movies, they don't like. Here's an example. So, Love, Death, and Robots is pushing it. Movies still won't do it. They're gonna find a way to find a cheaper way of doing it, something that's quicker. They have the capability of doing that, but they're not going to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that they take some of that passion and mix practical when it needs to be, and when it gets really like crazy stuff that obviously practical is going to be too hard to do.
Like, come on,
make it good. Make it like Love, Death, Robots level CG, convincible good.
And if they have the budget, then I hope they do. But
that's what I'm saying. I hope they, because I have a hard time seeing this project already making money back. With that high of a budget,
right?
Because they would need to, it's Amazon, so they could take a loss, but I feel like they're, if this might be a one and done, if they don't get a shit ton of new subscribers, they might just pull the plug on the show like they did Netflix with Marco Polo.
Yeah,
that thing was high budget. That thing was like almost Disney Plus level budget, but they said we could continue this, and we don't have the viewers to justify to put this much money into one production.
But it won't slow them down though. Like they won't even skip a beat. Like if it doesn't work.
No,
Yeah.
you companies will drop shit like.
Yeah, but Amazon's like an empire.
It doesn't matter.
won't do
These,
anything.
especially these bigger companies like Microsoft and such like that, they pull. Some of the richest companies are the ones that are the stingiest with the money.
Yeah.
That's how they're so they see anything as not making profit within X amount of time that they want,
and they pull it.
They pull the plug out of it. They'll drop money like what's it called? Microsoft with Mixer. That shit they poured it like what's it called? Burn bright, but burn fast. They poured money into that. Like I think it was like November or October of one year. They dropped $3 million on Ninja and $3 million on Shroud and $3 million on some other streamer, so that they stopped.
Really?
So that they stopped streaming on like YouTube and such, and only on their platform. And then like 3 months later, after dropping all that money, like $10 million after, and this is just extra on top of what they've already spent.
Right.
They said, you know what? It didn't bring the viewers that we wanted, and they pulled the plug on Mixer like that. And they said, we don't care if we just drop 10 mil on this. It's not making what we want. And I feel like that might be the situation here, where Amazon sees, well, we tried doing this and we were looking for 100 million new subscribers, but only got 50 million. No season 2 or reduced budget. But I
don't know. Yeah, either way.
Yeah, let's hope. I really hope that they put the passion in it.
Yeah.
And that they get new viewers so that we could get a season 2 and maybe season 3 and all that. Because more Middle Earth for me is always a plus.
Yeah.
I'd say it's long overdue. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Because last we got was the Hobbit trilogy, and that one I'll watch, but I'm not too fond of. I wasn't too impressed.
I know it sounds like I'm shit talking them, but I'll watch them. Like if they're on TV, I'll just watch them. I put them on the background. It's just because I'm a fan. Like I just like that world. So
they're still good, but
the first and second one aren't bad. It's the third one that's the train wreck.
But let me put it in this words: the first 3 Lord of the Rings, even with the extended,
it doesn't hold a candle to
even the
any
extended
of those,
versions. I never fall asleep.
Yeah.
So
that's
the
what I'm
Hobbit,
saying. It still doesn't touch.
So the
that.
Hobbit ones, not even the extended versions, just the theatrical versions. I'm falling asleep while watching them a couple of times.
The extended versions of the Hobbit are ass. Like it does no like
substance
amount of favors for it. It's nothing.
It's just longer for the sake.
Yeah, it's just longer for the sake of being longer.
Shame. I've never seen the extended ones.
Like how Lord of the Rings just like adds like much more like depth. And like
there's stuff
like fills that gap. It's just
there's stuff that's really even crucial at times where you're like, why did they get rid of this? It adds so much.
I know.
But I guess time crunch for movie theaters. But anyway, so let's move on. Well, a couple of things that got announced this week too, in terms of like release dates and all that. What was it? I know there was HBO dropped that Friends reunion thing. Yeah. Which comes out next Thursday?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna watch that.
I probably won't. I didn't watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, I watched Friends and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm not too crazy where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go run and watch this reunion. But that and what else got a release date? Well, Ratchet and Clank also that went gold this week.
Yeah,
days.
You're looking forward to that game.
Yeah, that comes out. So it going gold means it's ready to be printed on disc. It's ready to be gone. So it's definitely gonna meet its June 11th release date.
It looks really good. I really like the animation.
Yeah. So that's what Insomniac's Twitter account said, that we're ready for June 11th, and hell, I'm ready. Like that last State of Play that they did.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
Like an animated movie.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's like Disney Ratchet and Clank, basically. If like, how it looks like.
And it didn't skip a beat. Like there was so much going on and everything like that. And
it was a lot of fun.
It just looked crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'd be playing that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know my wife wants to. She's a big Ratchet and Clank fan, like me too. But she's played all the games since the PS2 era over and over again. Like she's probably beat each one of them at least 3 times.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've only played most of them at least once or twice. The other ones I played only once.
Yeah.
But I have played all of them, so I'm looking forward to this one. And I know the wife will kill me if I do the live stream. So I don't know if she's going to want to do audio, but I know we're going to do a live stream while she's playing it.
Yeah, just
That's
do it
awesome.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully she decides to talk through it. If not, we'll just mute the microphone and it'll just be let the audience watch the gameplay. But so I'm excited for that. Other things that got release dates was, and I feel like it's terrible marketing. This isn't particularly a movie I'm looking forward to, but I thought I'd throw it on the list just because it's like what the fuck, Paramount. It's the Snake Eyes movie, the G.I. Joe spin-off one.
Interesting.
Yeah. The what movie? What?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
but those
who
guys.
the fuck is that? No, I know.
Those
it's the
guys-
G.I. Joe character.
Those guys, I saw this article again on IGN. I'll put the link in the description because it does like the He-Man that we're going to talk in a minute too. They release the first look and such like that, and release dates and posters. And I was like, okay, so when does this movie come out? July 23rd. I'm like, that's
pretty
2
soon.
months from now.
Yeah.
We're just now in first look stage. Most movies have a trailer 5 months before, and they have their first look and posters with dates announced like 7 months before the movie comes out. And these crazy bastards, they're over here like, oh yeah, we got a big budget movie coming out in 2 months. Here's a poster. I'm like,
also, who cares? Like, who the fuck cares with this stuff?
Well, I'm just saying, like, what do you think Paramount is just sending this movie to die? Because it's an espionage movie.
Know.
It's an action espionage movie in the same month.
G.I. Joe, right?
The same month where another big espionage superhero big budget movie comes out, which is Black Widow.
Right.
So I feel like nobody knows
How many times we have to teach you
Yeah.
this lesson, old man?
like for real. It's like Paramount.
I love the young people.
Does Paramount even believe this could make almost any money? It's like it's G.I. Joe for
Well,
one.
they're probably gonna do it for the streaming service, right? It was just.
I'm not too sure.
Is it an original or it's in the theater? Right?
It's in the theater. It's in the theater.
Theaters? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's in theaters. But that's what I'm saying. Even if they put it in their platform, it's like, okay, Paramount Plus. Well, we got Black Widow coming out 2 weeks before.
Right.
So do you think people are gonna go watch your G.I. Joe movie that you have not marketed at all over Black frickin' Widow?
But I think it would stand better if it was their streaming service, like original.
Yeah.
So that way you have it. Okay, well that's exclusively for that. That's not in the theater. So if you want to watch it, you're gonna have to subscribe to our.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a pull, but I feel like even then they're kind of
that would be the smarter move.
They're setting it up for failure, in my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Just
and they do that. Like movie companies do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why even bother doing this if you're just gonna half-ass it? Like, I'm not a big G.I. Joe fan, but that's
probably just because like they have the rights to the thing, and they're like, okay, well, if you don't do anything within like these next 10 years or so,
you lose the rights.
Then you lose it. So they're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, but I just find that like a disservice to fans, man. Like, Fox did it with Fantastic.
And for older fans, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's like you obviously show that if you're not marketing this and you're setting it up for failure by pitching it up against a Marvel Studios movie with Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson, then they're not going to care to actually do justice to the character. Heck, I think I read that he never really takes off his mask and you don't see his face.
Interesting.
In this one, I guess the actor who did it was like, no, I want to have my face.
Of course, like always.
And they're going to have Snake Eye take off his mask the whole movie, basically.
Then that's not Snake Eyes. Then.
Yeah, no. So
that's just some dude dressed up as...
So I don't know. I'm not even excited for it. If it's on Paramount Plus and I have it at some point, I might check it out. But I thought it was funny that I'm like, wait, what? When I saw the poster, I'm like, July 23rd.
Who cares?
Like, what the hell are they doing over there? What's going on? Why are you doing this to this poor character?
Every time I think Snake Eyes, I just remember like my brother having an action figure that we got. It was like a knockoff Snake Eyes. We got it at like the 99-cent store or like the dollar store.
It's like Lizard Eye.
Yeah, it was like it looked like him. And it was just our punching bag. Like we threw it against the wall, just slammed it like a step, throw it against the fan. Every time I think Snake Eyes, I just think of that.
Good childhood memory then.
Just be like conk conk.
Well, no difference. That's what Paramount's doing to this movie right there. They're basically just grabbing it like you and your brother did.
Basically, give him the Sid treatment from Toy Story.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Where's the rebel base? Talk.
But another thing that got a release date too.
Yeah.
Ooh, where is it? I thought I wrote it down. Hold on. I think it's in June, but my homeboy over here, Masters of the Universe Revelation,
He-Man.
got a release date and a first look.
Ooh.
Yeah, but they released. I mean, I personally, as cheesy as the show is, I did watch it when I was younger, and just the nostalgia of the meme culture.
But the thing is, like with that, like with He-Man, because that's another '80s cartoon that like obviously we didn't. Grow up with.
Yeah.
But like
That was my
I feel
mom's
like
cartoon.
that or like Transformers, like that has more of the
fan
appeal.
base.
That has to have more of an appeal than G.I. Joe does.
Yeah. Well-
I think, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
What's it called? Well, now I
It's like they
actually-
keep adding like new stuff at least to those things.
Yeah.
Like Transformers gets like a whole bunch of new cartoons or
Well, G.I.
toys.
Joe has
or
had
movies.
a few cartoons and
A
stuff
few,
like
but
that.
not
here
as
and there.
much as like Transformers or He-Man. He-Man also like had so many
Yeah.
things.
Well, He-Man actually, the new one comes out the same day, July 23rd. So
awesome.
even then, sorry, Snake Eyes, you're even farther behind the line.
Yeah.
But
that's Kevin Smith's.
yeah, that's
I
what I
think,
was
yeah.
gonna say. He's the screenwriter
Yeah.
or the screenwriter
That's
and
his show.
showrunner.
Cool.
So he's behind the helm for the most part of this. Obviously, they're going to have different directors, but the
Right.
showrunner's usually the one who chooses the directors and works with the directors to make sure the whole story kind of comes together. But Adele Anchors at IGN wrote this article, and now that I'm a quote, but it's the Masters of the Universe Revelation is also said to feature much deeper themes, characterizations, and harrowing battles than ever before, with the franchise's fan favorite characters expected to evolve over the course of the series.
Okay.
Netflix provided first look images and its character designs produced by Powerhouse Animation with greater
Ooh.
detail, modern lighting, and atmosphere. So
Okay.
yeah, if you
the things that you show me, like I like the
yeah,
art
if
style.
you
looks
look
really
if you
good.
look at it, it kind of looks like I think it was early 2000s. They tried to revive the story.
I was
Yeah.
going
The
to tell
story,
you that.
and it kind of looked like that animation, but even better than
because
that.
I remember that show. Yeah,
So I mean, if Netflix really is serious about this, and with Kevin Smith, I can see it.
Yeah.
Since that guy's usually like a big fanboy of stuff, so I could see them actually making a slightly more mature series on it with cool battles and animation. So it's definitely something that before I saw the pictures, I was like, I might check it out eventually.
they
No
actually
rush.
showed He-Man as a script,
Yeah, before like in
which
the-
makes more sense because in the other one he was still like buff as shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
and
no,
then,
it was
like-
just, and he looked exactly the same.
Exactly the same. And then his clothes just rip off, and he's like,
Yeah.
Burn He-Man.
He just had like pink tights.
Yeah,
and such,
the
and
hair.
then he turns into. And then he once he grabs the sword, he turns into like homoerotic 80s. What's it
Yeah.
called? Almost just speedo
Oh my
and
God.
muscles. But yeah,
little
no,
loincloth.
this new one he actually looks like a younger guy, and when he like scrawny and such,
Right.
and when he picks up the sword, he gets buff as shit.
Mhm.
But
Nice.
so I don't know. Again, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I personally am now looking forward to it because I just liked how clean the animation looked in the still. So it's something that I could see myself watching.
I just see like those like He-Man or Transformers. Those stand more of like the test of time than I think G.I. Joe does.
Yeah.
Like, just personally, I just think that.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
think
sure
so.
older people will be like, no, G.I. Joe was my
Yeah.
childhood, but
Yeah,
And I kind of also agree with how like Netflix is revamping itself because Disney Plus is making all these movies and shows.
Well, they have to.
Netflix is like doing like all the anime and all the fanboys with
Yeah, it's
like,
more of an
like
animation
He-Man
platform
and everything,
now.
Love,
Yeah.
Death and Robots, and
They're
they're
trying
trying
to
to
be-
name back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're trying to be the animation and
Yeah.
gamer
Which
area.
is good. They need to stay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to be
That's their
the
strength
gamer
right now.
area too, because they have The Witcher.
Yep.
They partner with Ubisoft to bring Assassin's Creed live action,
Awesome.
a Division movie. What else did they? There was a couple of other projects. I think maybe even a Ghost Recon one too.
Ooh.
Their new animes, like Yasuke, was really, really good.
Yeah. Well,
it's out to
they're
show you
about to
that.
have to revamp that too because Sony is over there. They're trying to monopolize that market. So a lot of those stuff on Netflix might end up getting pulled and going over to Sony because Sony now has Funimation and Crunchyroll, which those usually have stuff like Amniplex and other companies attached to them. So I could see once Sony does that.
Crunchyroll's on HBO though. That they have. But
Sony a few months ago just bought him for like $1.2 billion.
Okay.
So it's still not like the ink isn't set yet, but eventually they're gonna pull stuff and probably put it on their own platforms. So Sony has like 2 or 3 big anime name staples.
Okay.
So that's probably gonna, which is good though. Again, competition is good.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have Netflix do what they're doing right now, and they're like, oh crap, we're starting to slightly bleed customers, and they're moving over to these guys.
Right.
Let's start putting more effort into our stuff.
Yeah.
But they still have
More
that
quality over.
They still have
quantity.
that Netflix look to them.
Yeah.
Which I hope eventually they realize we're the biggest streaming platform. Let's put even more money into our projects, because I do want to see them get maybe not as much, but close to
What's that superhero show that's on Netflix right now?
Jupiter Legacy.
Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah, that has like that Netflix look.
Yeah, it has a Netflix look
yeah.
where it just looks funky. Something about it looks funky.
It does. It does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that eventually they get like Mandalorian level style of effects and such. That way they're, because they usually have pretty
mixed with
solid,
all their live action stuff. Hopefully,
yeah, they have pretty solid stories to tell.
Do.
But they need to match it with the look too.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's see what else. So, another thing that dropped this week that was pretty big in my opinion, and I want to get everyone's impression on it, is something that, I mean, let's have Gunny say what my reaction was, because I wasn't expecting this.
What the fuck is that?
what the fuck is that?
But Venom, Let There Be Carnage dropped the trailer, and I completely honestly forgot that movie was
Carnage,
coming
Let
out.
There Be Dookie.
Yeah, but I mean, then I got reminded that Andy Serkis is making it, so there is a little bit of, or directing it. I don't know if he's writing it, but there is a little bit of hope for me that at least the choppiness and weirdness of the first one's
gonna
gonna
mocap as Carnage.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe. I want to see that.
Maybe.
But I feel like he, being the director, will actually have at least a little bit more, if anything, substance when it comes to the filming.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think overall of that trailer? We'll start with you, JT, this time.
Actually, I enjoyed the trailer a lot. I think it's more polished than the first
the
movie.
fuck
I mean,
is that?
yeah, I mean, it looks like it. I think that Andy Serkis, I mean, he directed, but he was seasoned all the Planet of the Apes, so he kind of knows what he was doing in terms of like motion capture and everything. But as a director, I think he's a good filmmaker.
No, those movies are so good.
And to me, like, I think it's gonna be more bloodier than the first one. I think Carnage looks amazing with this.
I really hope so.
I hope it's bloody. Not that it being bloody is gonna make a difference in my book, because just because you add blood and violence and bad words isn't gonna make a story stop being shit.
Right.
But they keep teasing, and they did the same with the first one, that it's gonna be R-rated, it's gonna be this, and then last moment they're like, PG-13, suckers. But yeah, like you were saying, it looks a bit darker.
Yeah, it looks a bit darker. Woody Harrelson as Carnage is gonna be interesting. I mean, he cut off all his hair and looks like a clean cut.
I'm glad, because at the
He
end,
looks like Cletus.
Yeah, at the end of the first Venom, when they had that after credit scene and they had Woody Harrelson as Carnage or Cletus.
Yeah.
That name.
His hair looked like a really bad clown wig.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh shit, he's bald Woody
So-
Harrelson. Get him something. Get him
little
something.
too
to wear.
puby.
Yeah, it was just like, what the heck is that? So, so you
But-
say you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I feel like overall, I think this movie's going to surprise a lot of people because of Andy Serkis' directing, and I think that it's going to have a unique story than like the first one. So I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this in theaters.
Okay. Well, did you like the first one,
I
or no? You did?
Yeah,
You what?
yeah,
Yeah, no,
I did. I really
It's his
really liked
opinion,
the
he
first
can
one.
like
It's
it.
Yeah, I was about
because
to say,
of-
to each their own. I personally didn't.
I did because it was funny. Like
Our our friend, what's it called? He said that the best way to watch it is if you're been drinking or you're drunk, and I could say that even then, because me and Reeps watched it with a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah, we
of
were
drinks.
kind of drunk too.
Yeah, because we were like, if I'm gonna make it through this, let's make it a little drinking game or something.
Yeah.
And even then, it was garbage to me. It was shit. It was atrocious. But
threw the bottles. No, we didn't.
I personally, let's just have you, Reeps,
Yeah.
because your opinion of this is pretty much kind of close to what mine is. So I'll let you take the mic from here.
I thought the first one was absolute dog shit. I hated it so much. I just did not like.
Which sucks because the character
movie.
design just
Yeah, it
looked
looks awesome.
and
right.
and that's the
looked
thing because
right.
it looks good.
It
Yeah,
looks good.
Venom looks really cool. If you would have put him like the CGI model for Venom and put him in Spider-Man 3 and not have him peel back his face and have Topher Grace.
Topher Grace.
Hey there, Parker. It would have been perfect. But no, that's not what we get. We get witty Venom cracking jokes here and there. I didn't like that as funny. And that's the thing. It's not that it's even funny. It's just putting.
It's like bland, right?
Well,
yeah.
for me, the jokes felt flat.
That's the
jokes
thing. Like
fell
it just
flat.
falls flat. And I think like, a lot of people that watch this movie, they're looking at the jokes and like, oh, it's so funny.
Well, but on the new trailer though, did you feel like it's gonna disappoint? Because I feel like it has a similar.
It can't be worse than the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it can be worse.
What's
But
it
here's
ca-
the thing, like it's like what I said before, like how I want like everything should be a series now. I think it would be way more interesting if Venom was actually a series, or if like Carnage got his own like episode or episodes like dedicated to him, because you're gonna have to squeeze a whole lot of
that's-
lore
I
and
heard
all this
that's
new
true.
like this new
Eventually, right?
character in like an hour and 40 minutes.
Well, they
or,
might
like,
keep him. They might do like the maximum Carnage for the next one or something.
I don't know.
But
Or
yeah,
if he gets his own spin-off,
But yeah, no, like you said, I feel like it can't get any worse than the first one.
but I'm just saying, like, if it was like a show, like, let it breathe more with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But what did you think overall? Obviously, it looks like it has the same humor as the first one, but at least visually, what did you think of like Carnage? Because he showed up.
I
for,
just saw
like,
one shot of him. I mean,
Yeah, but do you think?
looks like Carnage.
Yeah, do you think they did all right with that though? Because I mean, I thought Venom looked great in the first one.
And it's like, okay, like, yeah, that matters that they look good, but what matters more is
Yeah,
if, like, they actually do cool shit in it, and
Yeah.
they do things that they do, like how they do in the comics, and
Yeah, but
how
at
it's
least
supposed to be. Like,
at least I'm glad though that don't
have
you
him be
agree
violent and cool.
that he does look at least all right? Because
Yeah.
I thought when they did Carnage that they were gonna do like the last one where the bad guy was just a gray Venom.
What was his name again? Was it
I don't know. It wasn't Toxin.
like Havoc or something, or
I think it was Havoc.
Havoc?
I don't remember. It was
There's a
that
big
whole-
like gorilla version of him.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he looked just like him except slightly bigger and
Mhm.
gray. And I was fearful that they were gonna make Carnage the same thing, like just use the same character model but change him red. But they didn't. They kept them kind of
Carnage
slim.
is just supposed to be like a way more extreme version of Venom, like
Mhm.
actual like the demonic side of
Yeah.
Venom. Because Venom, like, okay, like, yeah, he's like he does work with Eddie. Like the two of them do have a bond. That at least they kind of got right in the movie,
Mhm.
even though they do play it a bit too comedic sometimes.
Well, and early 2000s script.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought like when he was like making the eggs or something, I kind of chuckled a little bit in the trailer. Like, okay.
Yeah,
like-
but yeah, no, I personally
I just want more screen time, like as like with Venom, especially with Carnage.
yeah.
And I just want to see the two of them fight. I don't want any like face peeled back nonsense that we don't get to see any of them. Because in the first movie, it's like it took like an hour before we actually got to see Venom himself.
It looked like it took like 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we timed it, and it was that
it was
time,
only
yeah.
like the last 20-30 minutes that he was in it, and on top of that, the screen was dark as hell, so you couldn't really see him very well. But when you did
And
see him,
it's
he
like-
looked good.
Yeah, and it's okay to have like, it's okay for it to have humor in it. Like, yeah, everything does, but you need to balance that out, and especially
Yeah.
when you have very violent characters as Venom and Carnage,
Mhm.
both of them. You know, you can't just like crack a joke and then like he's gonna go bite someone's head. Oh, it's off camera. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
we can't have that, and then it goes back to
Sure.
being funny, and then that outweighs the cool shit that they're supposed to do. You know?
Well, and the only thing I will say though about the character's design that's a little tiny nitpick on my end was for Carnage though is the fact that he has a tongue. Usually, in
He has a tongue, right?
in the comics,
There's a little bit of
what's it called when he opens his mouth? It's usually just it looks like sharp teeth and a black
Oh, yeah.
void.
But don't
So-
they all have tongues? Like Toxin.
Technically,
Toxin has
maybe
one,
he
too.
has a tongue, but usually
Yeah.
you don't see it because that's how you kind of.
Well, he's more like tentacly.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
usually that's kind of what separates his face from looking exactly like Venom's face is the
Okay.
fact
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Venom's the one with the really long like what's his name
Mm.
from Kiss, Gene Simmons type
Yeah.
tongue. He's usually the one that has that style of tongue, and
Okay.
Carnage doesn't. He's more of the sharp black teeth.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
other than that, he looked fantastic to me. So I'm gonna watch this, unfortunately, and hope that it's
Well,
good.
not unfortunately. I mean,
Well-
if it's cool, like you
Well,
know,
based
give
on this
credit where,
trailer,
like,
Based on
credit's
this trailer,
due.
I feel like Sony Pictures, the movie productions, did not learn anything from the first one.
I think it's just gonna be two very different tones that are not
Yeah.
gonna go well together.
And again, though,
There'll be cool scenes, and I think like again, like they look cool and stuff, but it's just not gonna blend seamlessly. Like
Yeah.
when you balance like
Yeah.
humor with horror stuff, because these are kind of horror characters. And you know, with me, like of course, I want to see like more of, like the horror side of them, and like I want
Yeah.
to see them do spooky stuff, and
Well, I mean,
And,
they're
yeah.
dark characters,
they're
most of
dark.
the
Yeah,
time. They do have a bit of humor here and there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for the most part, they're freaking monsters.
And the
Right.
thing is, like I know, like in the comics, when they do show humor, it's always off-putting. for
yeah,
them, yeah,
it's almost like dark and macabre.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, that was him being sarcastic, but that was like a dark joke that wasn't
Yeah.
very funny. But Venom himself, the
Mhm.
symbiote, would think it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping that we go around and see him like get a lot of stuff that has us doing
Toby
that.
scream.
Yeah, just I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not expecting
Also,
much.
yeah, I want to see them like interact with Spider-Man. It's just you need that.
Yeah.
I don't like when villain movies have their own spin-offs and there's nothing to do with any of like
Yeah, because
the characters that are supposed to be
you
paired
need a
with
yin and a
their
yang,
hero characters. Yeah.
and it just feels off. It's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
they're trying to beat around the bush when you
Mhm.
know everyone knows, hey, there's a character.
And
missing.
especially with Venom, because he's like the anti-Spider-Man,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
So while we're on the Marvel hype train, I guess you could call it, I guess we should just go into our next topic, which I decided to title Marvel Madness, just because there was a lot of news this past couple weeks with them in terms of what's it called, just from various sources. You had like the Venom trailer, what's it called, and then you had let's see, they got a couple directors for Secret Invasion,
Okay.
two of which I don't know
Mhm.
any of them, what they've really done. It looks like Elise Salim, who worked on some sort of a 9/11 drama called The Looming Tower on Hulu, and then Thomas Bezucha, who
Bazooka.
who had a crime
Baraka.
thriller called Let 'Em Go. Both of those I'm not too familiar with, but it brings the thing that they are
Mhm.
ramping up to starting to film this show, which again, Marvel Madness, we saw a bunch of stuff like What If got a release date. These
I
directors
want to see that. the What
on
If.
board.
Mhm.
Shang-Chi, releasing on
Shang-Chi.
theaters. And the big one that happened a couple weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago, was the Phase 4 roadmap, where they had official titles for some of these movies and more release dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start off with that What If series. What do you guys looking forward to that? That got of course, an August release date. Like I was telling you guys, it's obvious because Disney Plus seems to want to have a month of content for Marvel for the next 3 years. Like we'll be watching a series, movie, watching a series, movie, watching series, and so on and so
that's
forth.
just what they're doing.
So they want to have one thing a month each year, and of course this puts it in August, which was the most obvious thing because we had what is it, Loki in June,
June
and
coming out in June.
Black Widow in July, this one in August, and then Shang-Chi in September. So now we have official though that it's in August. So you guys looking forward to that one?
Yeah.
It's a new animated series. I just want to see it. And it's all going to be like the different
Alternate
switched
universes.
Yeah, alternate universes, switched scenarios. And
Yeah, I feel though that this is going to be really cool, but it's going to be like even worse than Love, Death plus Robots in terms that some of these might be really cool, and you want to see those universes explored, especially with the Marvel lore attached
there'll
to
be
them.
some good ones, and then there'll be like some duds. And
Yeah, but then you're gonna be like, "Oh man, I wish we had more time with that." And you know you're not gonna get it because it's not part of the main
like
universe.
if we see like Hydra, Captain America, or you know,
yeah.
What was another one from the trailer that looked good?
So there was
Hydra, Cap.
No, it was Zombie Cap.
Oh, Zombie Cap. Yeah.
It was Zombie Cap, Peggy Cap.
Yeah, Peggy Cap.
There's a Captain Marvel one, which I don't know what that one's about.
Was the one with Iron Man?
I don't know if there's one.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't remember because
I know he's in the Peggy Cap, and he's in like the big original suit, almost it looks like. But then there's the What If T'Challa was Star-Lord. What else? There's a few other ones, and I think they haven't released all of them, like the information on all yet. They're keeping some close to the chest so that it's a surprise.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be similar again to Love, Death plus Robots, where they have some interesting stories, and you just get to see in different art styles. You get to see these cool ideas. So I'm all up for anthology series.
They're comics too, right? Like there's a special line of comics for that. There's like an alternate.
It's branching off of the What If series from the actual comics, where every now and then
so it was
big events.
A thing,
yeah, like there was a What If Annihilation.
Okay,
back then, and What If Civil War and all that. So though it's technically based around something that's already a track record, but these stories aren't going to be based around anything that's been around yet.
Yeah. Awesome.
They're going to revolve around the actual Marvel movies, just with different little scenarios trickled here and there. So I hope they do get creative with it.
Yeah. So no Daredevil, no Ghost Rider, no Punisher, the characters we like.
No.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, I guess those are like my favorite Marvel characters. I just like the more like darker heroes, like the more kind of like bare bones.
Yeah, no, that I do too. I do some of those closer to noir style ones.
Noir style. Yeah.
That go into the noir universe sometimes, like Punisher and Daredevil and all that. Those translate.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight's coming out as a character. I like too.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
That's Oscar Isaac.
Oh wait, he's in the poster back there.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's right here, but no, that's Iron Fist and then other stuff.
Yeah,
he's always really cool.
Which if Shang-Chi is there, they need to try Iron Fist.
Shang-Chi beat him at his own game. You're gonna have to accept it, dude.
Well, I mean, Shang-Chi in hand-to-hand could technically beat Iron Fist. The only advantage Iron Fist has is his powers. So theoretically, Iron Fist could beat Shang-Chi, but if they don't allow powers to be involved in the fight, Shang-Chi would win.
Just put his mask on.
Yeah, but speaking of Shang-Chi, his movie actually was announced this week that it will be exclusive to theaters for 45 days. So it sounds like, I forgot what other movie, but there's another movie that got announced that was going to be in theaters for 45 days too.
I think it was Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Well, it was not a Disney project.
Okay.
It was I can't remember if it was Paramount or Warner Brothers. But some of these companies, it sounds like instead of having 90 days in theaters between theaters and then eventually going to Blu-ray, it sounds like they're cutting that in half to like 45 days, which in my opinion, I mean, it sounds like a little bit rushed, because then you don't get, if you don't go see a movie within the first like couple weeks, you have only X amount of time. Like
time goes by fast.
yeah, like if you don't go within the first month, you're basically odds of you going to see it in theaters are not
likely.
Yeah,
Is it in select theaters or is it in
no wide release?
Wide.
But it looks like they're gonna finally, I guess, that's gonna be the cutoff with the movies releasing day and date on Disney Plus, which was short lived. But I guess that just shows that theaters are gonna start opening back up as they normally would.
Which I want to go back.
Yeah. Well, screw Alamo Drafthouse, man. I still have money on a gift
They're
card.
so stupid,
They refuse to open. I'm like, come on. Even if you keep your mask and stuff like that, and most movie theaters, like
it's fine. Like,
that
it's
I've
okay.
been, I can't remember when I went last.
And even then, it's like, well, it's our choice whether we want to go or not.
Yeah.
Like, no one's forcing you like to go see
But
them.
like,
if you want to see it at
our
home,
friend-
see it at home. Like,
Our friend was fully vaccinated, like we were, and he went to go see Army of the Dead in theaters, and he said that shit was like empty. So it's like, why aren't you what's it called, just opening back up, Alamo? I want to use my gift card to get it over with. I
want those milkshakes.
Well, I don't even live close to there anymore. That's the problem. That it's just like I have this money in this gift card and I want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
It's just a
But
waste.
I can't. It's just sitting there, and I'd rather go to the theater next to me. That's probably where we'll see.
Yeah, I was
Black
gonna say
Widow.
we'll probably just watch it over there.
Yeah. But
And they're not, you know,
No. Last time we went to go see Monster Hunter, it was just us. That's what made it awesome.
they're not sticklers about that at all.
Because we could just laugh at the movie and stuff like that out loud without worrying that anyone's gonna have us kicked out.
yeah.
But again, it's like it's our choice. Like no
Right,
one's forcing
yeah,
us to go see
true.
it. If we want to go see it at home, we'll just watch it at
Yeah.
home. That's fine. But also, if I want to go to the theater, like we're not gonna.
Yeah, but that's
You know.
Alamo. That's a discussion for
Yeah,
a
that's
different
just
time.
yeah,
Because
another
that's
can of worms.
That's Alamo. Shang-Chi actually says, let us go back to theaters,
Yeah.
and they're saying movie in theaters only. Are you guys excited for that movie?
no, I don't know anything about him.
I personally don't give a shit about the character in
yeah,
the comics.
I don't give a shit.
But
I don't
but
know.
the movie could be cool. I mean, I do like martial
I mean,
arts
no
movies.
offense to any Shang-Chi fans. Or we don't know him. I don't know. So
One-
that's well, you do, but
There are no Shang-Chi fans out there, man.
Yeah.
It's they're even smaller than the Guardians fan were
yeah,
back
watch
in
now we're gonna
2014.
hate mail like you don't like Shang-Chi.
No.
You guys should kill yourselves. He's
Yeah.
the best Marvel character ever.
No. I think I don't like him that much in the comics. I never really did.
I don't
But
know
this
him.
movie, this movie looks kind of cool in terms of what they could do again. Maybe it's because some of these things, like Iron Man, you could translate into a comic book pretty easily, but Shang-Chi, I feel like will work more as a movie than a comic book character,
was
just
gonna say,
because
like,
you
the
could have some
only-
really cool action scenes.
Well,
with
like
it.
the only Marvel martial arts characters I know are Daredevil, Iron Fist, Elektra,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, the Hand.
There's not a
Stick,
whole lot. There's not they got a little crevice in the universe over there, but yeah.
Isn't there like a White Tiger person or
Yeah, there's White Tiger.
Is she martial art or
Kind of. Technically, if I remember correctly, she is Brazilian, and
Okay.
the older one was her dad, and
cool.
he was also like Brazilian. So I think they do like Brazilian
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu
yeah.
type thing. I'm not too savvy on White Tigers, but like I was saying though, I'm hoping that this movie would have really cool action scenes and look cool and cool set pieces. It's basically the only reason I'm kind of excited for it is because it's what I was hoping Iron Fist would have been.
Yeah.
Because they
he
dropped
beat
the
him at
ball.
its own game?
They dropped the ball with
They
that
dropped the
Netflix
ball.
series. Fuck that series. I
Press
hate
F.
it. Yeah, no,
yeah.
press F. But whenever I was watching that show,
What the fuck is that?
yep,
It shows so.
What the
It's like so
So boring.
inexplicable, like how bad it is, especially like when you have gems like Daredevil, or you have like a really like Luke Cage was excellent.
Well, and
Also, Jessica Jones is okay, not as
it's
good,
just
but
Iron Fist. It was supposed to be a movie similar to Shang-Chi way back in the day before Iron Man even got made. It was supposed to be an MCU movie, one of the early ones, and they kept pushing it back, and then they stopped caring about him and put him in a show. Well, his lore and his powers require more than the budget of a show would do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Especially one with such a small budget. If at least in a Disney Plus budget, he would work. Because that's the problem with
he
the
fights a dragon.
yeah.
Right?
That's a problem with the series on Netflix is that he could only light up his fist
that's
once
the thing. Like the
because
effects suck, the acting suck, the set pieces, everything around it sucked.
yeah, it was so bare bones. And like I said, his budget they
No
didn't want-
mask.
They had no budget for having him do crazy stuff with his fist or even lighting it
He's
up.
supposed to be like that poster right there with the fucking with the fire.
Yeah, and he has more than just turning his hand real hard. That fist could actually do more stuff like regeneration. Cool. He could even at some point in the comics he could open up portals to other places.
I was gonna say he's like mystical too, right?
Yeah,
like,
he has his fist is not only really hard and such like that, but he could do other stuff with that mystical power. And they didn't even get the fist part right because their budget wouldn't allow them to. They're like, you get one per episode, and it has to be like 30 seconds. At least season 2 had better action, better choreography, but even then the story was garbage.
But then he gives it up, right? Like,
kind of. It was. I blocked that second season.
Yeah, it goes nowhere.
It was stupid.
He's not
shit.
even Iron Fist.
No.
That's the thing. He's not even Iron Fist because at the end he's just like, nope, I don't want to do this. I give it up.
But back on track. Enough about that.
We digress.
Yeah. We digress. Before I start popping a vein, I didn't think we would go into the rat house with
before
this.
we have a stroke.
My house.
Nah, get the
stroke
sirens ready because we're going to the rat house now. You activated rat.
Yeah, let us know if we just want to talk shit about Iron Fist.
But let's get back to let's move on from Shang-Chi and the Phase 4 roadmap. Let me pull it up for my sake because I know you probably remember most of it, JT. Yeah. But what's it called? Kind of get us briefed up if you want about the roadmap and some of the release date.
Yeah, so Black Widows comes out July. Shang-Chi comes out September, I believe. And then Spider-Man No Way Home comes out in December. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out in March.
Let's try to watch all these together, too. Have everyone.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes out I think in May, I believe. So yeah, there's like a lot of cool movies.
I got it pulled up because we're not just doing movies. We're also Phase 4 officially includes the shows now. So we got Loki in June,
right?
Black Widow in July, What If in August, Shang-Chi in September. They're skipping October,
right?
Eternals in November, Hawkeye. Well, actually, they might not skip October because October might be either Miss Marvel or the Hawkeye series. Both are pretty much wrapped up filming, if I remember correctly. And both are scheduled to come out late 2021. So I have a feeling, let's say Miss Marvel's October, Eternals is in November, and then December I think is probably going to be Hawkeye, if everything goes smoothly. And December's also Spider-Man 3, but that one's technically Sony. Right. So that's why they could get away with having 2 in 1 month. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange in March.
Yeah.
Of next year. Thor in May of next year. Mm-hmm. Black Panther 2 got the subtitle Wakanda Forever in July. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel 2 got downgraded to where she's no longer just the only one in her movie, and it's called The Marvels.
Right.
She still got punched out of Endgame, so we're...
Well, I was surprised, though. I thought it was genuinely going to be just a Captain Marvel sequel featuring some of the other ones, but it looks like they're doing... and the logo looked like it, too. They had Spectrum from WandaVision, and they
Geraldine's probably... Not Geraldine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's Spectrum.
Yeah.
She's Spectrum. And then they had Miss Marvel's logo as the S, too. So they're doing like a group movie with them.
Yeah.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, whatever that is, February of the year after, and then Guardians Volume 3.
Guantanamo Bay.
And then Guardians Volume 3 in May of 2023. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, those new subtitles that got released, it wasn't a lot, and they also teased again Fantastic Four, but I feel like
that's what I really want to see, Fantastic Four.
I feel like
that's gonna still take a while.
They just put that on there at the end of that one trailer they released.
Oh yeah, Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, all these other movies, everyone kind of already knew about them. Let's get them more hype. Throw in Fantastic Four in there. But what's it called? So I know you wanted to talk a little bit about this, JT, in terms of like what we're most excited for.
Yeah.
I'll try to not go into the rant room a bunch because some of the news that came out of there made me a little bit disappointed in Marvel. They I hate to use the term, but they're drinking the woke Kool-Aid, that Twitter like mob mentality thing, and it's starting to get to their heads.
Yeah.
Stop before we get hate mail.
Well, I mean, bring it on. Like,
bring it on.
Because again, we'll go into the rant room a little bit because I got nothing against being inclusive. It's the way they're going about it that kind of rubbed me the wrong way specifically with an interview. Yeah, specifically with what Kevin Feige said in an interview, which I'm like, I could have said a better way of saying the same thing without sounding like I'm caving into the mom mentality of Twitter, because Twitter's not how real life is. Yeah. Nobody acts that way. It's just people using a platform to sound bigger than they actually are. But anyways, I'll let you go. I'll save my rant for a little bit. I'll keep it positive at first.
Just hold him back.
All right, you go, JT.
Yeah.
So out of that schedule, let's start off with what's your most anticipated stuff.
Yeah. So I have 3 movies that I'm most anticipated in. Black Widow. I mean, David teasing this movie.
Well, it's long overdue. It's long overdue.
And, you know, I can't wait to see Scarlett Johansson one last time as Black Widow, and man, it's gonna be an awesome movie. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm really looking for that movie as well. There's gonna be a lot of multiverses, and Doc Ock is gonna be in it from the Sam Raimi. So I can't wait for that. And also, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness is gonna be like my favorite Marvel movie of Phase 4 because Sam Raimi is going to direct it with the horror element and everything, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in that movie. So those are my top 3 movies I'm looking forward to Phase 4. Everything else, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Thor, Love and Thunder, all the other shows, but
I'm gonna get hate mail for sure, but I didn't love Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was all right, but everyone's
okay.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's the best movie ever!" And then when I say
Corgan Meek,
when I say it felt a little bit jumbled. It felt like the original plot of it, because the original thing was going to be a dark movie.
Yeah,
I feel like that was kind of, they kept some of that there.
Yeah,
but then they were like, it transformed into a comedy type thing, so the two kind of felt like 2 movies going on at once. But anyways, go back to what.
Yeah, so those are my top 3 movies I'm looking forward to, and again with the whole like Marvel thing, to me it's kind of overdone. Like they have like all this content in a year and a half, and
oversaturation.
Yeah,
You're kind of like over it a
I
bit.
think for me personally, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm kind of sick and tired of what Marvel's doing, like each and every stuff, but
because you know what to expect.
And
well, see, that's where I'm hoping that some of this inclusivity actually comes into play again, like Shang-Chi. I kind of do hope that they start making it a bit different, like WandaVision was and such like that, because I feel like they need to move on from just being the comedy type thing. They could still have some of it, but not every character has to have that. That's why I'm hoping Shang-Chi feels different, because we haven't seen some of that, what's it called, like Asian culture type stuff, and some of that lore with the Mandarin. I feel like they could do something really unique with that. Yeah. Obviously, Wakanda Forever is going to feel different. What else? Miss Marvel. I'm not too big on her in the comics, but
I could care less,
but
honestly.
she does bring in the Inhumans, so I'm hoping that that kind of goes somewhere. So that's why I'm saying they have all these characters that are different in characters and their lore, and Doctor Strange has the mystic stuff.
Yes.
Captain Marvel has the space stuff. So they have so much potential to make different feeling content.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm hoping they do that. And like you said, if they don't, that's when I'm like, well, Endgame was a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Because so far, Winter Soldier was all right.
I guess like the
WandaVision was pretty good.
Earth-based heroes are kind of, they did their thing. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
hoping they take advantage of these different characters to do different things with them.
Yeah, but also another thing I want to say is that over the last 3 phases, I feel like, this is my own personal opinion, every Marvel movie to me was the same. I think that for me, like phase 4 is going to be like each movie is going to have its own like distinct feature.
Well, we could hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
What about you, Reeps?
It's not really so much movies because the problem is I don't really care for half of these characters all that much. I don't.
Okay.
There's nothing that really pulls me into them, and it's just. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
But I would say like this isn't really a movie, but the Moon Knight series, I want to see that. I'm thinking more like characters, like what are they gonna do with certain characters that I personally like, and I'm sure you like them. We all like them too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moon Knight, that's a new thing, and and that's not gonna do anything like with the. Like with the space side or like
but
mystical or
it actually
is a little mystical.
No,
but
it goes
not,
to mystical a lot because it
because
deals
of
with
the god, right?
It deals
god.
with Egyptian lore and gods.
Ooh.
But
So-
still, like that's like separate from like Doctor Strange. Like they're not gonna go through portals and stuff and
Potentially they could bleed over. Usually,
But I mean, they could bring him, but for now, it will be his own like series
Well,
centered
it's-
on him. But-
Moon Knight's similar to Iron Fist, where they're in the corner of the mystical side. So every now and then, you'll actually in the comics see Iron Fist go over to like Doctor
that's
Strange's
cool.
crib
Yeah.
and be like, "Yo, what's up?" and stuff like that because these characters deal with mystic side, so they do have the potential to have like characters like Doctor Strange or Iron Fist level stuff in Moon Knight just because it deals with the Egyptian lore.
But at least I think like for like the beginning of the series, it won't immediately be like, okay, well I'm going to Doctor Strange's house now.
Yeah,
and
true.
yeah,
Well,
we probably won't do that.
Well, did you see that video of Oscar Isaac training for Moon Knight?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, dude, I'd have to see
Is he
if we
getting
could still
rips
find.
and stuff?
Well,
like-
no, it was like fighting training, like choreography.
Ooh.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
It looked like if they could keep that while he has that costume, it's gonna look.
I have a feeling that he's gonna just have like the all white like business suit at first, and then we'll get to see the hooded one later. But
I don't know, man,
I don't know.
because
Yeah,
that's one thing I like about Phase 4, that they're embracing the comic book stuff. Like
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Falcon looked like Captain
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
America version of Falcon.
Yeah, that nice suit.
Zemo looked like Zemo.
Yeah.
U.S.
for 5
agent.
seconds.
U.S. agent looked like U.S. agent.
Mm-hmm.
Who else looked like Miss Marvel? The leaked
The leak photo, right.
photos. She looks like Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So you got and Wanda. Wanda looked like Scarlet
Witch,
Witch at the end. So you got all these characters that are starting to look like straight out of the comics. They're no longer thinking like, well, maybe we should alter it to make it look not wacky. Obviously, they do look modernized, but I'm pretty sure if these characters are getting this, we might see the badass like
That's what I want to see.
hood,
Yeah. A
rip,
cape and
caped Moon Knight. So
glowing eyes. And,
I'm hoping that they go that route. But I'll have to
Yeah.
show you that video of him
show
doing
me.
the choreography training for that.
But yeah, Moon Knight. Hopefully something with Daredevil sooner. I just want to see Charlie Cox and something.
Vincent
I like-
D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox, and John Bernthal are the only ones that need to jump from the Netflix
Yes.
series over to the main universe.
Yeah.
Because those are perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's the thing. There's nothing. I can't see anyone else topping the performances that they did.
Yeah.
That's just like he is Daredevil. He is Punisher. He is Kingpin. There's no
Yeah.
topping that.
Yeah.
See,
And also because Netflix fucking cancel them and just to save them for later.
and these. All right. Well, it's because I don't know if I want to go to the Rant Room.
But it's just to be continued for another
Yeah.
discussion.
No.
But
Well, no, I want to get to there. I'm just anything else you guys go before I kind of go.
I just want to see them
Yeah.
in something else. And there's rumors saying that Charlie Cox is going to be in Spider-Man Far
One
From
could hope.
Home.
Watch
Yeah,
you get
one
Ben
could hope.
Affleck.
Because that's the thing, they're gonna go early 2000s with this. 'Cause-
How would you feel? Would you just be like, I'm out?
Yep, I would walk out.
It's
Speaking of Spider-Man, if I don't see Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, I'm walking out too. Or they put Topher Grace back. I'm walking out.
watch they do the all the bad wrong moves. Only Andrew Garfield gets.
Only Andrew Garfield. The Rhino.
Rhino, Electro,
the Lizard.
They don't keep Willem Dafoe. They don't keep Charlie Cox. They keep Eddie
Hell
Brock.
no.
They keep Topher
Hell
Grace.
no. I walk out of that is some bullshit. Dookie.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh no, yeah. I like the SpongeBob meme. I'm out.
What the fuck is that?
And for those reasons, I'm out.
Yeah. No, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to the rant room.
Here we go. Here we
Go
go.
for it. Let's go.
Well, it's just what's really bugging me about just
You
comic
want to know
book.
what grinds my gears?
What's bugging me about comic book movies right now? Again, it's not that I don't agree with being inclusive, because I personally don't see having a connection to a character just based on their gender or race. And that's where I'm having an issue with Marvel, where they're getting a bit too big for their britches and they're focusing too much on the Twitter mob instead of focusing on what made them great in the first place.
Yeah.
They're focused on characters regardless of who they are, what race, what gender, whatever you want to say. And I feel like they're losing sight of it. Because recently there was an interview with, well, let's just start off with these characters. Some of these characters, like you said, they're not characters we really care about.
Right.
The only reason they're kind of getting a movie, which I'm fine with, just because every character deserves recognition from, they have all, that's one thing that Marvel never had until
And it's
recently.
the love that they put into the characters. That's what comes first.
Yeah, but one thing that Marvel never had before that DC did was all their characters in one house. And they basically have that now with the exception of Spider-Man. So I do want to see every character get love and be like the old poster I used to have that had all the major characters from back then. The only thing is these characters I feel like are getting prioritized over some of the other cool characters because of their race or gender. And that's like, personally, if you told me Shang-Chi or Iron Fist, I'd go with Iron Fist. People have a problem with him because he's a white guy, who learned Kung Fu and such like that, which to me sounds racist, because are you saying people who aren't Asian can't learn Kung Fu? But regardless, I digress. Shang-Chi's cool. I would have personally loved to see Iron Fist, because you could get into like dragons and Kunlun and all that. Like, that's some really cool shit in that lore. And then you could bring Shang-Chi. And then give him his own movie, give him this or a series, or vice versa. That's what I'm hoping at least Shang-Chi does, is that it opens the doors for them to redo these. Yeah. But again, by the sounds of it, some of these characters are getting priority for that reason. And then Kevin Feige just rubbed me the wrong way. He did grind my gears when they did something similar in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they deconstruct a character and diminish their importance just because of their gender and race. Because he did an interview, I forgot with who. Let me see. It might have been the Rolling Stones.
It was that article you sent me, right?
Yeah. And everyone had a feeling Doctor Strange was going to be in WandaVision.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And so Kevin Feige said, oh yeah, he was in the original script, but we took him out because we didn't want another white male to take away from Wanda and her achievements and such like this. So I was like, really, dude?
It was ever going to.
But no, but like this,
or like that we would
this
see
dude,
it that way. You know?
And they did it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where Falcon didn't even really stand up when Isaiah just kind of said, oh, your Captain America doesn't give a shit about me. He's just a blonde-haired, blue-eyes white guy. I'm like, these are characters that we've grown to like, and you're just turning them into a race. You're not basing or having thoughts of these characters based on their actions. Like, if it wasn't for that white man called Doctor Strange their universe wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Because he set in motion the plot to Endgame. He was the reason the the universe got saved.
Can you just imagine that, like this all powerful wizard with the time stone, and it's like, oh yeah, fuck him. He's white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
He's
like
white. He can't do shit.
They're undermining these characters, and they literally took one out just because he was a white male. What I would have said personally in an interview was, and I would have been genuine about it too, would have been, yeah, no, I didn't feel it was the right time and place to put Doctor Strange because this show is about Wanda.
Right.
So having a big,
I think the same way.
so having a big character would have kind of derailed the whole plot the last episode had. This is a problem Wanda had. This is a problem Wanda had to solve herself. And by having him show up, it would have kind of felt like a cop-out, like, hey, don't worry about your problems. Come train with me. And while that would have been cool, it actually would have made sense.
So a white version of Martian Manhunter from the Snyder cut.
But what I'm saying is, I like how they tackled the end of WandaVision because it leads to the possibilities that there are going to be consequences for what she did.
Yes.
And again, I would have said that. I would have been like, I felt like Doctor Strange showing up would have derailed the plot, not because of his race or gender, but the plot.
Yeah, like to me, like it just would have been generic. It would have been another character showing up at the last minute, be like, "Hey, a storm's coming, by the way. I need you to be ready. I need you to train." And and then
but that's what I'm saying.
And he goes,
well, he would have taken him with,
with her.
With her. But that's what I'm saying. I would have said the same thing that he ended up saying without undermining a good character.
Yeah,
because it just sounds so like, fuck you to Benedict Cumberbatch and his. Character. It'd be like them. Imagine if he had that mentality back then when Iron Man first came out, and they're like, "Hey, we should make an Iron Man movie." Oh, we don't want another white guy or another white male to be the face of this cinematic universe. Boom, and then the cinematic universe would have never happened.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. I feel like they're got so big and they're letting this fame and they think social media is like how everyone feels, when in reality,
it's just Twitter.
I just want to see these characters I love interact with other characters I don't know about and see how this whole universe meshes. And it just leads me to another point that these movies are having an issue with, and same with DC. They announced that they're only really searching for black directors for that Black Superman movie. It's like I feel like Hollywood and these comic book movies are losing sight again of what it is. Like, if I go to a job interview, imagine my favorite Marvel hero is Nova, but it's the Richard Rider version. So, what's it called? Imagine if they continue this thing and I was a writer or a director and I'm like, ooh, Marvel really wants to make a Nova movie. I want to throw my name in the hat.
right.
And then they see my name. Oh, you're Hispanic. Well, we don't want you to write or direct about Richard Rider, your favorite character, but we'll let you do Sam Alexander. He's Hispanic like you. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck that.
They just don't know. They're so out of touch.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like they should just let the right person do the job and do the character for the right reasons. Because if I was writing or directing a Nova movie, if I got put into Sam Alexander because I'm Hispanic, I'd write a shit story because I don't care about that character. I tried liking that character for like 3 years. I collected his comics and I couldn't get into him. Richard Rider's a white guy. He's not my race.
Right.
But overall, I related more to his character during the run of Annihilation, and you get to see that character grow. So I feel like even though he's not my race, I would have so much more passion when doing that character.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't sacrifice the heart of a character just for social reasons, and it's just a cop out. At the end of the day, it's just a cop out.
It's just so that they could give themselves a pat in the back.
Exactly.
And I feel like that needs to change personally, because I know this whole little rant room is gonna piss people off, maybe potentially, but I just feel like I don't want it to go that way, because in my opinion, it's going to lose sight of what made these comic book movies for me so special, is focusing on the character versus focusing on politics. Because at the end of the day, politics will become outdated. 20, 30 years from now, the politics are going to be different than what they are today.
True.
And I feel like it will be a product of its time and be irrelevant versus having the passion for these characters that are timeless. Yeah. We've had Iron Man since like the 60s, I think it was. We've had Captain America since around similar times. So obviously they're still beloved characters.
Yeah.
And it's okay to do, like, I actually enjoyed some of the social commentary that they did on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would have put it in throughout each episode right. instead of all saving it for one episode. Yeah, it needed to be spread out so that
it would have had more of an impact if it was spread out.
What I had issues with that aspect in the show was going, and then it came to a screeching, like it brought it up in the beginning, and then it came to a screeching halt and been like, oh crap, we forgot that we had that storyline going on. Right. Let's make it's like forgetting your kid at the store or something. It's like, oh shit, let's make a quick Yui and go back and get him before anyone notices. And that's what I feel like they did. So I would have appreciated it even more if they actually took that good storyline and spread it out throughout the whole season. But yeah, like I said, I feel like that also kind of weighed down some of the story. They were too busy on trying to jumble the free world and the racism and stuff, all that like, in one show instead of and it was a bit too off, more than it could chew. Instead of focusing on the story of, hey, Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
right?
And the thing is like it gets like hypocritical sometimes because what you, like when you were saying that, like, well, because you know, like I'm Hispanic, and if I wanted to make a Nova movie, like I'm gonna have to do Sam Ryder, right? That was
or let's put it in the shoe on the other foot. What if a white guy or a white woman wanted to make a Sam Alexander movie, and they're like, you're not Hispanic, you can't touch this character? Yeah,
that in itself is racist.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
It's fucked up, and that's what I'm saying. It's hypocritical because they do say stuff like that, and that's the thing. Like they do, they do say stuff like that, and it's still racist.
Yeah, here at the Screen Crusaders, we don't like racism. I don't believe in not liking someone based on their color of their skin or even their gender. We're all, in my opinion, equity and equal, and that should reflect in these products too, by letting the right directors do the right ones for the job, doing the right thing. And that's what I'm
not
hoping.
Because like your race matches the character of the movie that you're making.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I just feel like that's doing a disservice.
Because I'm Hispanic, I have to make a Sam. Ryder
well, that's what Blue Beetle and DC is doing. They got a Hispanic director, so it's like
I'm like, that doesn't matter as long as you just know the character inside and out, and you have a passion. You have a,
So
that's like this guy, then make a badass movie of it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to say personally. It just grinded my gears. I hope that was just, again, him, Kevin Feige, trying to get a pat in the back from the Twitter thing to appease them. And I hope he isn't 100% serious on that stuff. Because if he is, that could really hurt the product. Because again, some of these directors that they might be getting, that they're just getting to give themselves a pat in the back, might not even care for these characters they're working on.
But it's like the Star Wars stuff. It's just Disney. This is just what Disney does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope for the best, and I hope these Marvel movies still focus on the characters.
Yeah.
And they don't lose sight of that, because that's where the bread and butter is. That's what the audience wants to see. They want to see justice to these characters.
And they're strong suit for like more than 10 years, right?
And if you could get more inclusivity on it, then so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't like someone based on gender or the color of their skin, I personally don't like you, because I judge people by their character and not by who they are or what their upbringing is. So that's my rant room. That's all I had to.
Thanks for tuning in to the last episode of
Nah,
Screen Crusaders. We're done.
Fuck that. Come at me.
We got canceled. We're done. It's all over, guys.
Well, I mean,
it was a good run.
We didn't say anything that wasn't true. We didn't say like, Falcon Captain
the thing
America
is,
is
'cause,
not my Captain America. I'm actually excited to see his movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, people will say that, and Twitter will still go.
Yeah, but
to
fuck
it.
Twitter again. They're
Fuck Twitter. Yeah.
They're the loud minority. That's not how real life is. So people need to just chill out. Speaking of people chilling out, that need to chill out is, again, this world is going mad. Did y'all read about the Pokemon cards and the sports cards and all that? They're not being sold. Well, Walmart says we're still selling them, but as of May 14th, Target is not selling them because people be going crazy, man. There was a
fight, right?
There was fights, and then there was the main one that broke the camel's back. It was the in Wisconsin, I think it was. In the parking lot, there was an argument for like MLB trading cards. That ended up with the guy pulling out a gun at the other people.
Shit.
Because again, I guess it's like similar to the electronics and scalping, where they what's it called? It's getting harder and harder to find these on the shelves because people just buy them up. And same with, so they're saying MLB cards, NBA cards, and Pokemon cards are getting off our shelves because
That's my shiny Charizard.
yeah. Let go of that Charizard. I got that Squirtle. Give me that Detective Pikachu card. I got my taser. Thunderbolt, motherfucker.
Oh, here's Thunderbolt on you. Thunderbolt or fucking a taser. I choose you.
Yeah, but
A
that's what I'm
clock.
saying.
I choose you.
Oh my god.
People need to chill out, man. Honestly, like, come on, they're just cards. Eventually, they'll make more. Like, there's no need to shoot or stab each other or punch each other over these things. Like, it's just again, in my opinion, it's just back to social media. It's like the internet was a social experiment where it got out of hand and what's it called? The government let it out, and then it's like now it's too late to take it back, but it's only brought out some of the worst of people sometimes.
That's my Charizard.
You want to see fire? Here you go, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, my Pokemon's a steel type. What do you mean? It's a steel Glock, fucker.
Oh, and they like you want to see how I paint a wall red from Rick and Morty when he's a Morty cop. Anyways, so I guess that's a good place to end it. We introduce a new I guess subject in our thing from now on. Whenever we go off on something, we'll call it the Rant Room. So just again, thank you, audience, for listening in. Hopefully we didn't piss you off again
To this last episode.
It won't be our last. I'll keep going. I mean, I personally don't think we said anything bad. We just said something that needed to be addressed, that sometimes people think social media is reality, but it's not. It's not. And Hollywood needs to understand that their audience doesn't think this way half of the time. They should go where they're going as long as it's done for the right reasons.
Sure.
But thanks again, audience, for tuning in. If you haven't already, check out our other videos. Like I said, those live stream ones were pretty fun, and I would love it if you guys decide to actually join in the next ones. And it makes it a lot more fun to commentate on them, because if I get comments on there, the PlayStation reads them to me, so I could still listen in while I'm playing and respond to them, and it makes it a fun time when people are commenting.
Go make fun of him die. Go laugh at him dying.
Shit talk me if you want. It'll still make it more fun, honestly. Call me scrub, call me noob. I don't care. As long as you're interacting, it'll be fun. But
scrub.
Yeah, again, if you haven't seen our other videos or live streams, come on, join in.
Or call us simps for Resident Evil. Yep. Because we simping over Lady D. And for this video or future videos, just feel free to drop a comment. Let us know how we did. Let us know if we could improve the lighting, if we could improve our pacing, anything. Constructive criticism, we're open to it. And we're just doing this for fun. So hit that. If you want us to kill ourselves, you know what you do.
But what's it called? Just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys, the panel, Mr. JT over here and Mr. Reeps, for joining us. And we'll see y'all again next week on the next episode of the Screen Crusader podcast. Everyone have a fantastic week.